Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again on my journey to not just use up every art supply that I own, but also to learn as much as I possibly can about art, hopefully, and someday maybe even become a professional artist. I wanted to, instead of going over what I'm using this week or whatever else I've got going on, is I wanted to talk about the Milan Art Institute's mastery program. Now I know this none of this is very interesting visually, but bear with me. I found the Milan Mastery Program. They're just at milanartinstitute.com, and it's an online program that they purport that they can take you from beginner to professional in 1 year. If that sounds like a very fantastical statement, it's because it is. I had heard about the program via multiple people on YouTube that have gone through the program, that are currently going through the program. And so I ended up giving it a shot because there really weren't any negative reviews. And while this is not necessarily a negative review, I do have a healthy bit of criticism for anyone who may be wanting to start this program, and what you can really expect. So ultimately, it's a series of videos that you purchase. The cost of this 1 year program and this 1 year of videos for this program is a little over $2,000, which is a lot in the scope of the number of hours and the amount of knowledge that's imparted upon you. $2,000 is not that crazy, though there are community colleges and things to go through that could be much cheaper. So I signed up. I paid in full for the program up front. I know they do have payment options. I'm not sure quite what they are, but then they release videos to you, I think once a week. So I started with this program, and I've actually been moving through it quite a bit faster than one set of videos a week, mainly because one, I have all kinds of time, and two, I have other things going in my life that I'd like to finish up this program. So ultimately, the program comes in 4 parts. I am just in the middle of concluding the second part. So the first part is a painting and drawing course. The second part is various mixed media and finding different things that sort of speak to you to make art. And then I believe the next part is finding your voice, and the final part I think is marketing, something like that. I'm not quite there yet, so do take it with a grain of salt that this discussion is really for the first half of the program. I can't really speak to the second half of the program just yet. So like I said, the cost of this program is $2,000, which is a lot. I also spent $2,000 on supplies, and for a while I was going to the art store, every other week for something that I didn't have. I needed a special paper, I needed a color that didn't come with the kit that I purchased from them. I ended up purchasing 3 kits total. One was a painting and drawing kit, one was their mixed media kit, their deluxe one, and then I bought an ink kit. In terms of supplies, I can't even, the supplies that were provided in the kit, it's so much stuff. It's almost overwhelming to store and sort through it. But I had a couple of items right here that I wanted to kind of go over, and if you are interested in starting this program, maybe this will help. So here I have a couple of the items that came in my drawing and painting kit. First up is the Milan Mastery brushes. It was a whole set. I only have a couple of them here, and then this is their Milan Art branded oil paint. Back in a previous career, I became introduced to something called private labeling. So, say if you buy a Morphe palette at your local mall, Morphe didn't make those. Those are actually made by a company called Crown. Crown sells custom configurations to Morphe, and Morphe puts their name on it. This is what the Milan Art Institute does with their supplies. So while these are very nice brushes, I am impressed with their quality. They are quite nice. They are very expensive. I don't recall exactly how much the brushes are by themselves. I know you can only buy them as full kits. And I definitely know, I do know, I'm not going to, call out their trade secrets or anything. I do know the company that makes these, and the company that makes these sells them for way, way less than the school does, so definitely keep that in mind. They also have kind of an interesting approach to color theory. I have 4 of the paints, and they have these interesting labels on them. So the labels, they're WO, WT, CT, and CO. So what these mean, this is a cool opaque color, it's a cool transparent, a warm transparent, and a warm opaque color. So basically what they do is sidestep learning color theory. And so you really just jump into using these colors without a solid understanding of what color theory is. They just tell you to kind of just stick to the names on the on the tubes, and then call it good. Which is one of my main criticisms of this program is the shortness of time spent on any given medium. So there's 12 weeks spent on painting and drawing, which maybe 2 weeks total was on portraits, maybe 1 week total was on figure drawing, 1 week was on a still life, maybe a week and a half on a still life. And it just goes like as fast as you possibly can, partially learn any sort of skill, which in my opinion 12 weeks is not long enough to learn painting and drawing. I am a member of multiple Facebook groups of other people in the program, and I would not characterize both my work and the work of my fellow students as professional. I've met a handful of people that they've gone through the program. Their work is it's it's not professional work, and they're not selling it. And one woman I spoke with recently continues to spend hundreds of dollars every single week on booths at festivals where and is running at a loss, and she has yet to sell anything. She's gone through all the same marketing as anyone. She's doing everything right, as far as I can tell, but she's not selling things. I have met actually quite a few people who are successful after using this program, and without exception, those people went into this program with prior art experience. I know a person who actually teaches graphic design at a college. I know there are several people who were successful artists before taking this program. There are a number of people who are art majors in college. I'm a college art major. And so you really do have to come into this program with some considerable experience. You really do have to already have some level of hours going to this program. I would not characterize this as a 1-year beginner to professional program. I just wouldn't. It's a great start. It's a fantastic start. It's a lot of work all at once, and you will improve. Absolutely, you will improve. I've definitely improved. Have I improved $4,000 worth of instruction? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure about that. But in the videos and the instructions, there's vocabulary that's used that unless you've taken art classes previously, you would not, you wouldn't understand what's being said. one of my, core criticisms, not just kind of going from one medium and one project to another that are all different, is just the inconsistency in terms of mediums that they want you to use. Rather, instead of learning to oil paint and paint one way in oil and another way in oil, and learning all the different techniques of oil paint or acrylic paint or whatever you're trying to learn. In my program so far, in the second portion, they are dedicating only a week to various media. So ink, spray paint, art markers, rollers, gold leaf, and mediums, and all these odd things that are all great. They're all great in mixed media. They're all valid things. I personally think it's absurd to expect your students to purchase a completely foreign medium to try it once and then move on to the next thing. I just do. The ink kit I purchased from them, I think, was about $230. It was, I'm not in a position in life that I have an extra $230. But I did. I bought ink. I made 2 projects with it, and then I got to shelve it because then we moved on to spray paint. And then I got to shelve the spray paint, and we moved on to markers. And this week we did some collage. And it required its own medium to glue the stuff to the paper. It was already in the kit that I'd purchased, but if I decided collage isn't my thing, this is probably the most expensive way I could probably think to try it. I would have been thrilled with just a trial size from the company that makes it and just call it good. If I'm into it, I'll go buy more stuff. But just the kind of the absurdity of the quantity of items. They want you to have a big set of everything. So I've spent on all this, and this is just one of the things that inspired my no-buy, my art supply no-buy, is just this kit. The kits that they encourage you to get are absurd. They're giant. I will never use up these art supplies, before I die. I hope to. I fully anticipate these products drying out before I even get a chance to even kind of use them. And so it's stressful to actually have so much stuff cluttering, your artwork. I'm actually envious of the people that can take one piece of paper and a ballpoint pen and make something beautiful at it, because I'm completely overwhelmed with the amount of stuff. So yeah, you gotta have a little bit of money in order to do this program, in addition to the $2,000 that it costs. It's a neat dabble to learn some new things. Whenever I've kind of come to them with a problem, I have really just been upsold getting a mentor for another $100 a month, which is right now just not, this is not in the cards for me at the moment. Now, had I not splashed out on all their supply kits, I probably would be able to. Now, the art style is very distinct with the Milan Mastery program. They are a lot of unicorns and flowers and horses and wolves and ethereal clouds and rainbows and that kind of stuff. If that's your thing, then I think you'd probably love this program. You'd probably absolutely love it. I'm not sure that unicorns and flowers and rainbows are my type of art. I actually attended their annual conference a week or so ago, and without exception, it was all flowers and a lot of flowers and unicorns. Again, if that's your thing, cool. It's just not mine. And I really didn't understand that when going into the program, that I want to do kind of the super hyper realistic stuff. I want to do some more out there abstracts, and this program so far doesn't really offer that. So I mean, ultimately, if you were going to do this program, I mean, really have some experience already. You know, the YouTube tutorials and some Skillshare courses will get you there, as well as some community college classes. You have to be at least somewhat knowledgeable about art and art supplies. And I would absolutely encourage you to use your own supplies to the best of your ability. Even if you don't have everything, even if, you know, they want 10 paints and you have 3 paints, you can still make it work with this program. I would not purchase another kit with them. The other thing too is these paints. Again, this is another set of paints that I do know the private labeler, and the private labeler sells these paints for a fraction of what Milan is selling these for. I went to their store recently, and one of these are little tubes too. These are it's a little guy. One of the tubes of paint was like $28. That's crazy. They have a big, you know, it is a really nice tube of titanium white, but it's $50 some odd for a tube of white paint. I'm not sure. Yes, it's fast drying paint, but I'm not sure the program is getting me to the level in which I'm making art so fast that I need a fast drying white paint. It's just not. So again, I mean, it's not really. I don't want to be fully critical of this program, since I have learned a lot. I don't know that I would do it again, but of course I will. I'll refrain from judgment until I finish. So you'll have to definitely stay tuned for the next one. I mentioned too that I wanted to, that I attended. I can talk, I swear. I attended the Milan conference in Athens, Georgia this past week. It was a beautiful hotel. Everyone was super sweet and super nice. You know, as a first timer and someone who's only about halfway through the program, I would have appreciated some sort of, I don't know, icebreaker, or, you know, really anything. Everyone there seemed to kind of already know each other, and they do have mentorship staff, and the people that they pay for and mentor, those people kind of already sort of knew each other, and that's fine. The thing that really turned me off about the conference, and yeah, there was some good information. The people were lovely. There was some art for sale. Like I said, we went to go visit the art store, and you know, everything was really sweet. Again, unicorns and flowers and all that. I'm not a person of faith, and the religious references were not so much from the Milans, but from the attendees that were just kind of allowed to continue. So honestly, with full transparency, I found it very alienating, and I stopped attending after the second day. I was just, it was literally dampening my enthusiasm for the program so much that if I didn't step away from the program, I don't think I'd be continuing with it. It soured it just a bit for me. But I will have, I think in the future, if anyone is interested, I'll totally have a breakdown of the conference itself, if anybody's interested in going. Again, I am still about halfway through the program. If you want to check out some of the art that I've been working on through this program, it's on Instagram. It's the same as I have here, Art School Problems. Check it out. I invite all critiques and criticism. I am not a great artist. I'm though a better artist than I was, 25 weeks ago when I started this program. So take all that with a grain of salt. But I really do hope that I can connect with some other folks that have maybe been through this program. But I thought I should just put my viewpoint in there, because there are so many just glowing reviews of this program online. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's anyone else out there that has had a similar experience to me, but I thought I'd just get it out there before you drop $4,000 on a year-long art program. So, if you want to follow along, that's awesome. If not, that's cool. I am just here recording my experience. All right, talk to you next time.